Whoops. Live. All right, I'm gonna go get up for a second. I haven't heard the cat yet, which is concerning. Stop. Look at you. Look at you. What do you think you're doing, Nova, huh? What do you think you're doing? I heard there's games here. Yeah, there's games here. There's games here. You might notice that I forgot to put up Icicle. So I was like, hey, I'll get up and I will go get like some sun chips, right? Yeah, like I love sun chips. And then Nova heard me. Sun chips, hell yeah, hell yeah. And she came and started attacking me. She left now. I'm not sure. You probably heard Nova like try to attack me. Because she did. She did just try to attack me. All right. How we doing today? Can you guess what kind of sun chips I have? It's pretty easy, I gotta say. Holy. Cheddar, no. It's also not Evil Eye. Too passive. Too passive, but not from the item room? Matt? Not from the shop or a beggar. It is from Flash. Two. Onion, no. Not Tears. Not Tears. Not Map. Could be... Black or brown is interesting. I don't think of a lot of brown items from base Isaac that are tier 2. Most of them are like garbage. But Black Devil Room? Tier 2 is a little difficult to think of. Passive. You know what's a good one? What? Stigmata again. No, because that's in the item room. Brown? Not in the devil. Brown Angel Room? Yikes. Thinking. Damn it. It is Secret Room. Heal HP stat. It's raw liver? Yeah. I thought this was a tier 3 item, but guess not. It's Secret Room only? Yup. That's a Flash item? Yup. Your confusion is justified because no one fucking got it in Flash Isaac. I actually want to check. What was the rare? Do they even have rarities in Flash Isaac? No, I don't think they're just special items. Okay, wait. Platinum God. Raw liver. It is a special item. So that's probably why you never saw it. I can't believe a Luke sold Platinum God. Shame. Anyway. Damn. Fuck. I don't know. You guys didn't guess the flavor of chip I had. I gotta say, unless I literally had pizza, you guys are pretty shit at guessing what I had today. Or any day. It is cheddar. It is not cheddar. On account of the fact that I can't have cheddar. Actually, I can. Cheddar's good. Is it the tomato one? Green onion. It's not green onion. Fuck. Poker chip. Can't be poker chip, that's red. None of these exist in Canada? Bro, like half these people are Canadian. Not Guha. That's for sure. Alternative Canada, Canada then. Pickups. Pickups from Repentance is, I don't know, a penny or penny? Like butt penny? Cursed penny? Cursed penny? Not coins, not characters, so unlocked. Exactly a sun chip is. Okay, it's like a... What's a good way to put it? It's hard to describe. Yeah, they're wavy squares of flavor. Anyway, garden salsa is the flavor I have. Never had one. It's pretty darn good. I like a little spice. It fucks me up, granted, but okay, I'm allowed to fuck up my stomach every so often, right? Negates damage. Feel like I already know this, but no, I was wrong. Floor enter pickups. It's like that me something. It's the flower. The blue flower. Meiosis. Yeah, that's it. Yerp. Trying to read this text at 36p. That's fair. That's fair. No, that wasn't that bad. You know, when Kate was trying to check nicknames for people, I was reminded of the fact that I could that I could see like people's past usernames that they had on Steam. I took a look. I took a small look. It's that. Oh yeah. It's funny, honestly. It really is. Also, Lamau, I got it. I've had like this, I think I've had the same username my entire time. Are fine. Some of them. Wait, hold on. Boo! Dual type. First in evolution line, Ghost. Easiest one is Pumpkaboo, which goes small. Final evolution, Ghost. Let's go Goregeist. Yeah, more or less, right? Average. Ghost, Grass. Gore. Geist, small. There's only one that's questionable. True, true. It's funny to see how people got to where they are, though. You know what I mean? To be all Gorgeist. Yep. That's the joke. I had to double check. You did only redeem one Fumo. Well, I might as well do this, right? This needs to be a Gorgeist. And this needs to be a Gorgeist. There we go. And the rest of these need to be Pumpkaboos. I can't fill it. I don't have enough. Fumo. You got it. Grass from Kalos. I mean, Trevin, right? We got to go with the last ghost one. You did it in a fucking square. Well. Very funny. Haha. Yeah, whatever. And it still wasn't the most common. You people suck. You people are bad. How can you not see this? Whatever. I think we get full credit for this one. Even if it's not the most unique, we got the puzzle. All right. Everyone at the end of last stream was like, wow, you abandoned K. You monster. I did not abandon K. We will be doing that today. Get it twisted. April 5th, 5:58 p.m. High Prosecutor's Office. SIS. Room 1202. Kay! She's not here either. Where are you? Knocky, knocky, knock. Special visitor. Fender. Whoa, talk about an unhappy face. Everything okay, big guy? You won't earn yourself too many admirers looking like that. What are you doing here? Has something happened? Has something happened, he asked. I'll say. It's been all over the news. A murder in the committee chamber. I'd call that a happening, all right. And what with your hearing being today, I thought. Well, I couldn't help wondering if you were involved. They're reporting it on the news already. Heck yeah, a dead lawyer, a young woman on the run, they're lapping it up. It's crazy stuff, but compelling too, I gotta admit. So, are you gonna give me the lowdown or what? Well, actually. Just explain you're looking for K. Okay, maybe I'll warn a guy before blowing his mind next time. Things are even crazier than I thought. Fender is a great character to introduce into this game, I gotta say. He's been doing a killer job. This isn't a joke, Fender. Kay's out there somewhere, all alone without her memory. Not to mention being the suspect in a murder. That definitely doesn't make things any easier. But where the heck could she have gone to? You sure she didn't remember Zip? I thought she might have come back here, but no luck, huh? Can't say I'm surprised. Sounds like she thinks she's done you wrong. She didn't want to cause you even more trouble by rocking up on your doorstep. You think I don't know that, but I'm out of places to look. Hey, take a chill pill, compadre. This isn't like you. You wound up tighter than a clockwork monkey, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. After all, it's got even you running from pillar to post, looking to save an innocent from jail. Acting like the attorney I know you were born to be. Look, Fender, I may have given up my badge earlier. That doesn't mean I've decided to become an attorney. However, Kay isn't just some suspect in a murder to me. He's someone I've come to know very well, even if we've only been acquainted for a short while. And she'd never harm a fly, let alone another person. Blow my mind twice in 5 minutes, why don't you? Kid's lucky to have you in her corner, champ. He's saying this, but that's quite the bunch that sprung up between the two of you. You have to give me and your old man a run for its money, even. It's nothing like that, really. She just likes to involve herself in my affairs. That's true. Heh, you can say that again. From what I've seen, she likes to charge into things no holds barred. But she's done you some good, I can tell. You two make a great team. Would be a shame if she never showed up after this. Yes, I'm not a little jealous, seeing as my partners in crime's no longer around. Anyway, you need to track her down. Connections like that don't grow on trees. Yeah, I should know. Alright, how about this for a plan? We have fresh out of ideas where she could be. You can't just walk the streets shouting her name. So why not go back to the source, look into how she lost her memory in the first place. Might just turn up some clues that'll help narrow things down. It's not a bad idea. Based on what she told us, it sounds like it all started at the big state building. Things big building. Okay, bozo. Then that's where we're headed. Next stop, the big time. And maybe you can give your face the good news on the way. Kay won't come frolicking back into the fold. The first thing she sees is you scowling like that. Very funny. Fender is truly a force of nature all on his own. Brother, he's trying to help you. Sun sure set quickly. Not even a murder on the premises can make this place close its doors. Gotta chase that last dollar, huh? Yeah, capitalism is fucked. There's hardly anyone around, though. Guess we got the whole place to ourselves. First step towards proving Kay's innocence is to figure out how she lost her memory. Earth to Miles, we got sleuthing to do. This rooftop paradise is all ours, so let's focus up and do what we can for Kay, alright? Do what we're good at, huh? I suppose I should be grateful there's at least something we can do. Begin investigation? Mr. Edgeworth, we meet again. What are you two doing up here? Well, seeing as we came all this way, we thought we might as well enjoy some cotton candy. What the heck are you doing here? Looking to get yourself in even more hot water? You needn't worry about me, Dr. Hertz. I'll be just fine. Whatever you say, Mr. Soon-to-be ex-prosecutor turned ex-prosecutor. Saw that coming a mile off. Wait, what? You got fired? As I said, you needn't concern yourself with my affairs. Actually, he quit. So, oh, how's Kay doing? Uh-oh, did something happen? Maybe I can help? How about an injection? No injections, thank you. But unfortunately, a jab a day does not keep the world's troubles at bay. Yeah. It did kind of get chilly, huh? Come on, let's head home. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth. Catch you again soon. That old lady is gonna stand up and then be like, extraterritorial rights. Hey you, yeah you, how about some delicious Parting Cloud cotton candy brighten your day? Parting Clouds. Is it named for the fact that we're so close to the clouds up here? Our gimmick is we take a normal serving of cotton candy and we split it in half, part of it if you will. Half the cotton candy, same price, double the profits, and we're laughing all the way to the bank. That's a bit on the nose. They make cotton candy, split it in half, and give you half, charge full price. I don't think your customers will be laughing if you keep sharing that information quite so freely. What a deal! True. Just showing a regular broadcast channel. Nurk, what am I standing here for? The Steel Samurai isn't on today. Consider going to take a good look at the distant landscape for a few minutes. Kay absolutely would have been all over this, the Kay I know anyway. But for now, I'd better focus my powers of observation on this rooftop. Okay. Pegasus, the winged horse of legend. No, wait. Isn't that a horn on its forehead? So it's a unicorn. No, that can't be right either. Unicorns don't have wings. What's this? There's a little plaque there at the bottom showing the name of this piece. Contradictions. That'll teach me to bother engaging with such things. What's the name of a unicorn with wings? For some reason, the term alicorn comes up. Is that right? Hey, I know one of you's a fucking nerd. Am I right? I feel like I'm right. One second. Let me look this up. Yup. Let's go. Been referred to as an alicorn. Well, well, well. Let's go. I don't know why I know that. It like immediately came to mind though. It seems I have that information under a like file. But up. Pretty sizable cherry tree. Its flowers are just in a full bloom. According to what Kay told us, she was standing beneath this tree until she was pushed and fell. Bunny is playing metaphor. I see how it is, Bunny. The person in the raincoat that Kay saw was supposedly approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which suggests that she was pushed over this railing here. Railing is chest high. You'll have to try real hard to go tumbling over the edge of it. I'd be lying if I said I was invested in this. That's fair. How far are you in metaphor? I only know like... Huh? Eek. K. Hi. K. Don't mind me. I was just lying in wait. That would make you a criminal, okay? Perhaps you meant to say lying low. Oh yes, that. The Opera House Dungeon. Oh yeah, so you're like, the game actually started for you. Choose free! Yippee! That's right, the real metaphor starts now, Bunny. Nevertheless, I doubt people will look kindly on a suspect harmed in the sight of her supposed crime. Surely you understand that, even in your current state. On top of which, while you've been playing hide-and-go-seek, I've been worried sick and frantically trying to find you. Are you mad at me? Of course I am. Wow. Dick. Starts metaphoring now. Actually true. Now, what were you thinking coming back here? You think your amnesia would excuse your recklessness? No. I came to try and help you get your badge back. What? I thought if I could get my memory back, I might be able to remember killing that poor woman. I thought if I came back to where I lost my memory, maybe I could... Heh. Oh my god, this bozo! There's one thing you haven't lost, you know. Your ability to surpass my expectations at every turn. Couldn't be more certain now that you're the Kay I know so very well. However, I don't appreciate you being so reckless. Do you hear me? I'm sorry. Seriously, Miles, you're killing me here. You were banking good guy points, and then you went and blew it up by blowing your top. Good to see you, kiddo. Glad you're safe. Come on, bring it in. Okay. That's the spirit. Not now, Fender. Yeesh, I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Live news from the big building, where a shocking murder took place earlier today. Please continue their hunt for a young woman known to have been present at the scene. She's considered the prime suspect, and please say no effort is being spared to try and track her down. That's you, Kay. Ooh, mama. They're not messing around, huh? Well, team, what's the plan? Looks like the clock's ticking down and fast. Indeed, it's only a matter of time before they find us. Alright, first things first. Kay, you're sticking with us from now on, capiche? But I've caused you so much trouble already. You can hardly make things any worse for me at this point. True! Mr. Edgeworth. Then it's settled. We're in this together like the Three Musketeers. Miles here will be in charge of proving Kay innocent. And I will, believe me. So I'm going to need you to do everything you can to help him with this investigation, okay, Kay? Yes, of course. Great, now we've got to move quick. Can't be getting bugged by the boys in blue before we've even started. You two may not have any more to lose, but your Uncle Eddie sure does. Greg would never forgive me if I got the family office shut down. Thank you, Fender. I'm sure I owe you more than I'll ever really know. Alright. Hope a bit have helped you so far. Came back here because I thought it might jog my memory. How about we go over what you remember one more time? Okay. I was standing under the tree, sheltering from the rain. Then I saw a person in a red raincoat, and then they pushed me. You remember anything specific about the person in the raincoat? I'm sorry, I just can't recall anything. Oh, but there is one thing. I could see the moon over their shoulder as they came closer and closer. The moon? Yes, it's all very fuzzy, but it was in the exact same place it is now, floating up there above the cherry blossoms. It was visible over the mysterious figure's shoulders. That's new information. I should keep it in mind. Yeah. How perfectly cinematic. True. I keep feeling like there's something just on the edge of my memory. There is. It could be the clue we need. All right. Let's just let it float to the top of your mind and say whatever comes to your thoughts. All right. I'm seeing, it's very faint, but I'm seeing a small restaurant, just a counter and some seats, and there's this incredible smell. A beautiful golden soup, not too thick and it tastes just right. Filled with delicious noodles. They're firm, but not too firm. That's when a thought crossed my mind. I'm going to order another bowl. A captivating memory, but sadly one that has nothing to do with the case. True. Used to say you were the second great thief Yatagarasu, a noble outlaw dedicated to stealing the truth. Do you really not remember any of that? Oh, I think you're right. I was a noble. Not a noble, okay, a noble outlaw. So I suppose you got halfway there. Contract. In a way, it appears to be a criminal contract of sorts, I suppose you could say. A criminal... And I wrote this. The letter isn't handwritten, so it's hard to say who actually wrote it. I see. I'm sorry, I don't remember you well enough to accept a gift like this just yet. That's alright. I wasn't offering it to you anyway. Okay, we got some logic. Whop. Bam. Thinking back over what Kea said, Person and Reiko approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which implies that she was pushed over the railing on the opposite side of the stand. She also showed she could see the moon over this person's shoulder. When we checked just now, the moon was in a different location than expected. Yet Kei claims it's currently in the same spot in the sky as the night of the incident. This throws the position of the moon and the person in the raincoat out of alignment with her story. I think her memories may have become confused somehow. What's more, she really had been pushed over that railing. She would have never survived the fall. Therefore, I must conclude that she may not have fallen where she thought she did. Okay, that's great and all, but... may have fallen, Kay, but it couldn't have been over that railing, because if you had, you wouldn't be alive now to tell the tale. But I definitely remember standing under that tree. If I was pushed, the only way I would have fallen is over that railing, isn't it? Not unless the ground opened up and swallowed you whole. The ground can just open up like that. How? My bad, not a joking matter. Sorry, kiddo. But it may also be closer to the truth than you think, Fender. Let's take another look at the ground in that area. There's a chance we might have missed something. This? Fall over the railing. So where did she fall? It must be clues around here. Must scour the scene and inspect anything that's suspicious. Oh, I don't fucking know. What's this? Looks like a service hatch. Okay, do you think you might have fallen down here instead? Nah, you'd never be as clumsy as that. I'm sorry. I just can't say one way or the other. Perfectly square hatch, true. My bad, kiddo. Just another one of my silly musings. You don't have to take me so seriously, you know. I don't? Never. Well, maybe not never. But I told you to leap lyrically into my arms. Fender! Chill, Miles Arena. Where's your sense of whimsy? So, never then. Ouch. Talk about a deep cut. More to be found here. Yeah, I wonder why. Down the hatch? Okay. Do I have, like, evidence? Okay, so what do I put to this? Healy, this thing's made the news already. How'd they do it, huh? Hey, think they're filming us from the chopper up there right now? Go check the TV for me, Miles. You know, you make sure to catch my good side. Now, at a time like this. Beak and wings of a bird and the body of a lion. It's a griffin, right? I have to say, they're incredibly detailed. Almost frighteningly so. Instead of feeling welcomed, I wonder how many people have been scared off by these instead. 0 people. It is a statue. Oh, wow, it is. You're hard at work on the 50th floor. After the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence holds their disciplinary hearings, correct? That's right. There have been people walking by the windows all evening. This is one serious investigation. The final boss is still alive, Cereal. You can't just say that. I guess you can literally say that. I've beaten the video game already. But what if Tomato Curry hears you? No! The first boss of Ace Attorney. True. Kay is still alive, Cereal. True. In 5 years when it goes on sale. True. I'm getting out here with Kay. I need Rosier. Pass the press. I'm a cool and mysterious customer, Milestrino, but I'm not a spy. Maybe I can use him as a decoy if things get desperate. Okay, whatever you're thinking, quit it. I can tell it doesn't end well for me. Okay, this is the broadcast being live, which means we're looking at the big building. Don't worry. If there's one thing you need to know is that there are 6 Luis fights. Is there an extra floor here? Eureka! Question, how many floors does this building have? 30 Luis fights? I feel like this building's rooftop isn't nearly to scale with the rest of it. What makes you say that? Kind of wrong though, just a few feet above where the committee works, its ugly little schemes. Starry-eyed young romantics come to wish for everlasting smoochy times. But then, what's that dark space above the 50th floor? The gloomy underbelly of love? Wait a minute. Exactly. The committee chamber is supposed to be on the top floor, directly beneath the viewing platform, but it actually appears to be located 1 floor below that. Clearly contradicting the supposed facts. Maybe whoever wrote the pamphlet made a mistake. So it would be a lot smaller than it should be. True. Is there a 51st floor? Wow, and that's where they keep the gloomy underbelly of love. Ack, my heart, you didn't need to take it quite so literally, Kay. Good, then perhaps we can take this more seriously instead. Come on, have you met me, Miles? That might be easier said than done. It'll still be easier than trying to enjoy your so-called jokes. Damn. Rude as fuck. Sure, these connect. How has no one noticed a floor between the 50th floor and the viewing platform until just now? You got me there, kinda hard to hide a set of stairs going up to it, if you ask me. Precisely it. Things like stairs that are normally out in the open going unnoticed by people seems a bit implausible, which can only mean the 51st floor is no ordinary floor and can't be reached by ordinary means. We'll just have to reach it through the extraordinary means, right? I don't know about extraordinary means, but maybe let's go for unconventional. Indeed, consider if you will the hatch we found by the cherry tree. What would you expect to find on the other side of such a hatch? A room of some kind, perhaps? Oh, a secret room. Now you're talking my language. Let's go take a look. Oh, all right. There we go. What is this place? Look at all that stuff down there. Is it a storage room? Whatever it is, I think we would safely say that this is where you fell. Go team, strike one mystery off the list. Yes, but the greater mystery of Kay's memory loss remains unsolved. We have a red raincoat figure who can walk on air to account for, among other things. Hey, can a guy bask in his success for a second? We found a hidden storeroom. I thought we scooch on down and check it out. We have pretty much exhausted everything up here. And it can't hurt to take a look. It would also, like, get you out of sight, so you wouldn't be caught. Is that you, Mr. Edgeworth? It's Emma! Yippee! Emma, what are you doing here? I heard about what happened from Detective Gumshoe. I was in the area, so I thought I'd come on by and see what's going on. This is Emma Skye. This is the 4th time we're introducing her in the series, up until this point. She's a high school student, currently studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist. The younger sister of a former superior of mine, who also stood in court together. The detective called me up in a panic. He said your badge fell off of the big building, and that Kay was in the man's suit and... Hold it right there. Didn't you just leave to go back to Europe a few days ago? And you're back again already? Yep, I'm here with one of my professors. But not to do any schoolwork or anything, just some interpreting. Then shouldn't you be off doing that instead of gallivanting around a crime scene? Oh, it's fine. There's this wonderful thing called body language after all. That's not an actual language, Emma. I mean, it kind of is. Anyway, never mind me. This is about Kay. How is she? Where is she? Aw, shucks. Isn't that sweet, Kay Meister? Your little friend is worried about you. Oh, yes. Who's this guy? Don't tell me you went and got a new assistant, Mr. Edgeworth. Heh, very funny, young lady. It's actually the other way around, I'll have you know. Eddie Fender, attorney at law and senior partner at Edgeworth & Co. Law Offices. Edgeworth, so you are his assistant. Wait, attorney? Since when were you a defense attorney? I'm not... To say it's complicated is an understatement. Let's not sort the details for now, yeah? First things first. But an attorney, Mr. Edgeworth, really? Oof, it's like I'm not even here. What is this, some kind of weird experiment? Perhaps we should head down below. I'll explain there. I agree, the police could be here any minute. And who's this? I'll explain later, Emma. Come on, time to go. Alright, but you better explain yourself, Mr. Hotshot Pro. Attorney? Trust me, I'll explain that too. Okie dokie do. Down the hatch we go. To be continued. This game loves to be continued, man. Alright, what are we gonna find? Alright. We spent like an hour and a half up there. Like, what the fuck? Dark as a grave. Can't see the nose in my hair from my ruggishly handsome face. What? Oh, can't see the nose in front of my ruggedly handsome face. Stupid brain. Watch your step, Emma. Ouch. I hit my head on something. Make your way down slowly, Kay. I don't want you to slip. Oh, yes, Mr. Edgeworth. There's gotta be a light switch here somewhere. Ah, bingo. This is... So the hidden 51st floor really is being used as a storeroom. Hey, isn't... This is just like first game memorabilia. We need to check carefully over all these items. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you promised me an exclamation or 3. I did indeed. Where to even start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case. It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Heh. Seems you got yourself in some real pickle, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. Painting in the background. Painting in the background. Win through compromise? Nah, I think you mean the one behind Emma. Whatever you are, I think it's time for science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this all official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you, Miss Skye. Yeah, there's the painting. Right then. There were 4. Right, everyone, let's get to work. I want to know where that elevator goes. Seems like it heads up. Looks like it goes down? Fucking excuse me? Something we'll certainly want to investigate further, but we should look around here first. Aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy. I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma. Ready, willing, and able to investigate Mr. Edgeworth. Very well, then let's begin. The storeroom. This statue. What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on, a piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. There were 2 of them, a real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places. An old case, I guess you have worked on a bunch of different... Huh? Gotcha. Is this game like literally just built on fan service? Bro, taking a picture of my chest will not do you any good. Caught in the act. Danged-handed. Guiltier than a tomcat covered in cream. Ah! Yeah, my eyes. Stop that at once. Ain't no stopping my snapping. That's all I get. Every dang detail and then some. Y'all think about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals. Yeah, sure. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. This here is a camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about to be hog-swoggled. What the fuck? By your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? You're that low-down, dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't ya? Who are you calling a low-down, dirty jerk? This is Lotta Hart. A photojournalist by trade. We've crossed paths on a few occasions, especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget and even harder to get a word in edgewise. You could even say she's an Edgeworth. An Edgeworth. Get it, Miles? Get it? Get it? Quit making that face, will you? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I ever saw one. Means I didn't leave the best of impressions on her either. You to everyone. Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful. All I want from you is a couple of pictures. But we're just here to investigate. Sure you are. If by investigate you mean pull the wool over a lot of mile-wide eyes. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought she might listen to me. It didn't hurt to try, I guess, but we're probably better off leaving her alone for now. So this statue is a piece of evidence from an old case of yours, right? It's pretty weird looking, I have to say. It's known as the Alfred statue. The what? The Alfred statue, but it says here that it's called the Aleph Red statue. Aleph Red, Alfred, Aleph Red. What are you muttering about? Oh, it's nothing. Let's carry on looking around, shall we? Okay, what is this? Whoa, that's one heck of a desk. Wonder who it belonged to. Is that a suitcase full of money? There are 4 male figures acting as legs holding up the tabletop in the center. It's hideously cringy. I didn't think Edgeworth knew what cringe was. It doesn't even have the good decency to be camp enough to loop back around. Is this guy a fan of like camp? He might be a fan of camp. This is one of your old cases too, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I can't think of anyone related to any of my investigations with such abstinently absolute awful taste. There we go. At least I don't think there was. There was a few. Pile of baked notes, just left out for all to see. A little tasteless, wouldn't you say? No way, these are all $100 bills. That's a fortune right there. How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. Not even that long. You're like a prosecutor. You make good money. Bunch of trophies and oh look, someone left a walkie-talkie here. Looks like they were put there deliberately. Rather like it's on display, to be honest. Hey, there's batteries in here too. It can be useful. Let's take it with us. Nobody will mind if we use it for a little while, will they? I can take it to the police station afterwards. Someone's starting to sound like a certain great thief. Speaking, I'd say this looks like some kind of wooden ice box. Yeah, the chains are probably to stop the cold air from escaping. I don't mean to contradict you, Emma, but this isn't just a box for storing clothes in. The wood is imbued with a natural repellent that keeps moth away. Yeah, sure. Guess you could look at it that way, too. Keeping your clothes chilled would be nice for the summer, right? So not prepared to let go of that part of your hypothesis, I see. These are... What's the matter, Edgeworth? If I'm not mistaken, some of these items on display here. Piece of evidence from old cases of mine, but what are they doing here? Maybe this is where the committee stores stuff it's looking into? It can't be. Evidence like this is stored at the police department. They don't keep stuff at the prosecutor's office too. When a case is ongoing, yes, but once the last trial is finished up. These are all from previous cases. And yet, here it all is. There's no point in trying to figure out the whys now. Just take a closer look at it. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe. Oh, the numbers are written in the items themselves. I guess these are prices. Prices. I never would have guessed that. Wait, none of this stuff could be worth more than that much money, could it? Prices are very high indeed. It's no wonder she's surprised. I must examine these in detail. A bottle of ink and a lantern. Bold piece of evidence from a previous case of mine. Yeah, the worst one. But why? What's all this stuff that's related to you doing here? It's not as if any of it was in my possession for a length of time. The duration of the case is no longer. Perhaps this is nothing but a coincidence. Seriously, a coincidence. I never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth. Isn't that what scientists believe too? Oh ho ho, you want to talk about what scientists believe? Settle in. This may take a while. True. It's a small bottle, one I've seen before. Oh, that's all. Nothing else to add. Well, no. What more did you want me to say? Hold up. I gotta write this down. Mr. Edgeworth can turn even the most boring topics into something picturesque with his explanations. Gurk, next time try taking those kind of notes in silence. That's a cute little doll. It looks kind of like the Steel Samurai. It's actually the Iron Infant, son of the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess. He was born burdened with the knowledge that he too would one day be called upon to fight for justice. You are such a fucking nerd, Edgeworth! I can't imagine the pressure that must have been put on him under. More than most people could bear. Yes, he's young, but you can sense it nonetheless. A certain tragic refinement. Joelus. Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth, are you even listening to me? Oh, of course. Aw, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's a stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. How did he wind up here? Oh, but look, he's missing his left horn. He is, but he never had it in the first place, at least as far as we ever saw. Defective merchandise, huh? We need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall. Now that I think about it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? So this storm was actually more of a stock room. It would seem so, as much as it pains me to consider a thing. Yeah, just a bunch of shit. What kind of person sells off evidence from serious criminal cases? And who to? Who would even pay for all this stuff? Somebody, clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people really will collect anything, huh? Fascinating. Why do you have a Nintendo DS? But, nothing on the case, huh? It's kind of creepy, all these masks lined up in here. Not a fan of horror movies, I take it. No way. That stuff's so unscientific. I think you mispronounced terrifying. Must scour and inspect anything that catches my attention. Hold it. Eureka! Eureka! Kay was carrying a Jammin' Ninja mask when she was found. Game came out on the DS. That makes sense, actually. But it looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis. Which would mean that Kay was really here. As you put it, not a crazy hypothesis, but why? Did she come here to steal something, maybe? There's all kinds of stuff here. Because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. No, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. I don't think we're going to get anything valuable from there. Hello, Lotta Heart. So, what are y'all doing snooping around a fishy old place like this anyhow? I think it's us who should be asking you that. Me, I'm in for the truth, for the good of society, and a little old me, of course. Should at least be accused of Q-crime like embezzling millions of dollars. True. Go for target for the people. Snapping here, there. Alright, I need to take a drink. Holy shit. Ordered so 3 games ago. For a microphone. That's true. Wow, this is some sturdy construction. Thick floor plates, sturdy supports. A rough estimate, I was thinking to hold 50 of you easily, Mr. Edgeworth. Except for the fact that it's nowhere near big enough. You say that, but pack yourself in tight enough, and I think you might just be able to do it. I really don't think so. And anyhow, we have more important things to be investigating. Can theorize about the elevator once we're done. You're right. Fine. 45, Mr. Edgeworth. 48 tops. Sure. Okay. Logic. I wonder if the price tags have something to do with the money. I've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that someone has been running a little illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor? This is big. It has to be, right? I think it might be. But we'll need to investigate a little further yet. We'll need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. An eyewitness, huh? Like, oh, I don't know. Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? Me, I told you, I'm in for the truth, for the good of society, and for little old me, of course. For the people. For the people. You won't tell me the real reason you're here? Perhaps I can hazard a guess. Someone was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scene here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense. Well, how did you figure all that out? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the price tags on everything and the big wad of cash? Guess it means I don't have to be tiptoe around anymore. One of my sources told me on the down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here. I spelled mine chests. True. Were sold to the highest bidder. Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Had to come see it for myself, of course. Got eyes on my subject, you know. Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees, or so I thought at first. Anyway, I wasn't about to write it up based on hearsay alone. So yesterday I snuck in, slunk behind this here statue, and settled in to wait. Bidding started late at night and carried right on through the break of dawn. The auction and the murder happened on the same night. Coincidence? Dirty deal. Okay, talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items in the evidence in this room? Sure, there's a regular old stuff too. Shitty artworks from who knows where, that kind of thing. In what way are shitty artworks regular, exactly? But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out the cop and prosecutor shops. Now I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from up here. Haven't been up here since yesterday. I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then. It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had voice changer doodads on them. See, teeny tiny ones. Dinkier than a bug's behind. So you couldn't see the real faces and you couldn't hear the real voices. Surreptitious as all heck. You mean sir... Help me. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. Reading. And then in came the next one. When it was time to leave, they all did the same, but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one by one. Mask back on the hook. Up the ladder and away. Okay, I understand. Well, that's a serious operation. And how many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the elevator. The ladder. I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't. Then where were you? Well, I first got here, you know what? That ain't important right now. So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anyway, I watched all them folks come in from my spy shot there in the shadows. I see, you were watching. Male protagonist? I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. You already know my ass can't read. I see, so you're watching from behind the statue. You used that there elevator to get down below. I stuck up and took a peek at what was going on. I mean, the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up. There was a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? So if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. You get sight of who was in charge. Guy. Alright, sure. I guess I did. It'd have a good story if I didn't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all. You mention a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? Y'all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. And an exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already, I see. So you don't actually know anything about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old timer, nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them 3 things is what I remember. Well, what good's a description of the outfit if I don't got, Huh. I don't got a clue who was wearing it. So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everyone else. Yes, sir. Mask, voice change, and the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy. Zervin. Zervin? What kind of name is that? Me when I go to... Oh, come on. What's the name of it? The Heavensward Trials. They're called, Shit. Quick, someone back me up here. No? Okay, that's fine. You ever heard of Zervin? He's global hero. Oh my fucking god. Arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervin the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. So you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all. No, I dang well didn't. Which kind of scorches my scoop. Sniffle, this whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. I should have never... Okay, come. Man, that looks familiar. Dressed like that. Maybe I should try showing that evidence to Miss Hurt. You said the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they dressed up like a peacock on parade day, but they was. This is the outfit you saw. Holy smokes, it sure as heck is. Well, wait. So the big cheese is dead. All we know is that she's the victim in the case we're investigating. Her name is Rosie Ringer. Did you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady. Well, ain't that just slipper than a dang eel? Throwing me off with a man's jacket like that. I hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we discover something vital to the case, namely that the underground auction was chaired by none other than her victim. Presumably. So that someone done bumped off the boss, huh? Then that's what's happening. What was happening? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. You just go on about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot, I told you, it's nothing. You won't get me nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more. How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing. Okay? And I ain't saying nothing either way. Alright, you can tell us just a little more, pretty please. I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a news hound. A scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more, heck, I done told you too much already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you? Pro bono. What kind of cockamamie thank you is that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel, you dig it up yourself, just like I had to. Okay. Guess that she isn't going to talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful for dealing with customers such as her. She may not give up information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Up! It's time for Edgeworth to be a huge piece of shit. Let's start by observing our opponent. I ain't telling you nothing. You hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead whenever possible. Not much time to think, so I'll need to be swift and decisive. She's definitely hiding something from me. My first move is discover what that something is! Mine chest! Commence. I need you to tell me everything you know. And don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you either. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. Better try another tact. I can see you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Let's just calm down and try to talk reason. I am calm, dang you. These ways I will be, just as soon as y'all quit yanking my dang chain. You do realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Okay, ride in with me, will ya? The whole thing's a waste of my precious time. Oh, I should have picked my words more carefully. Almost like there's no way to possibly tell what she could possibly fucking say. Okay. All right, once more into the breach. Just like threaten her. Yeah, bide my time. All things have shown so far to bide my time. That's better. Being in Newstown's all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you. You see? Uh-huh. In your own, in fact. Oh yeah, she spoke like me, huh? Guess that could have been someone I know. Her name is Tabby Lloyd, and if I had to close my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. You told me about someone she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so you met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where'd you all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side, bringing her into this, you sneaky snake. Oh, you nearly had me, too. Interesting. Talking about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a bit. Time to deploy my Q. Q? Clue. Dude, I might be more tired than I thought. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Yeah, well, he's about to Q. True. Into deadlock, am I right, fellow kids? Guess it does seem pretty cold to me to say that if you know her pretty good. I want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good, then you'll tell us what you know. Fine. See, it's like this. Got me a scoop. Wait. What am I thinking? Dang it, Lana, you can't let him bamboozle you that easily. What about a scoop? Oh, forget it. It was nothing. How embarrassing. A professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is. Ah, alright, I got me a scoop. A big one. I can't go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. Edgeworth, have you ever considered how the only reason she's not giving you this information is because of capitalism? Think about it. You know the details of the scoop. Every scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Man, might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. Alright. You don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing. Just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. Silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play at that game. Nah, perhaps a little more proactivity. None of those seemed correct. What do you mean? I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius. Ah, but I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact that I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it didn't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there who've done way worse. Murder, for one. Next to murder, trespassing ain't nearly nothing. From your mutterings about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide. No, I was just talking all hypothetical like. You know, about murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder. I can think of a few things worse than murder personally, but it's definitely up there. Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I'm done talking to you. Told you, okay? I stuck at the auction, I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor. I don't have a clue as how to proceed with this line of questioning. Oh my fucking god. Like 2 murders, that's true. And other things I literally can't say because it will get my YouTube video, like, killed. This scoop of yours has something to do with the auction. You know what? I clean forget, hey? You tried to infiltrate an underground auction. You observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. Well, you're a pain in the ass, huh? Now they do it from the start? No, okay. You didn't hear the sound of nothing. Does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room? Well, see, it wasn't nothing really. For a little noise, just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. Oh my god. This is gonna be a valuable clue. Yippee, got him. Here, have this cat cue. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why remember it? You think it's something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it's the cry of a murder victim. Ack, how do you keep doing that? Alright, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. That's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise. Must be the same murder we ourselves have been investigating. This would be a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish this up by confirming the credibility of her claim. Have her on the back foot now. Time to finish this. I need to describe the murder in detail. It's vitally important. Yeah, bullshit. I don't have a clue as how to proceed with this line of questioning. You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true? You're calling me a liar now. Howie, now I'm mad, real mad. I'm a journalist. How am I supposed to tell stories if folks can't trust that I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know, faster than anyone, honester than everybody. A motto, huh? This could be an important clue. What do you mean could be an important clue? I can imagine that being so vague on the facts is a valuable trait among the journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what's necessary when reporting on a story. Well, see. Seems your so-called information is not credible after all. Look, there was a murder and I was there. I can't even prove it, grumble. You can prove it, can you? How? I've got it right. No, wait, you heard that. I was just talking to myself. I don't think nothing of it. She's still hiding something. This is a very vital clue. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're not telling me. Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I spilled my dang guts already. Just time to deploy my clue. Holy shit. We're done. I know you've been keeping something from me, and that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Yippee! Ah! Dang it all the heck! Give me a break, will ya? Oh, come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here. And then snap me a photo. Happy now? You better be. And that's checkmate. Oh my god, Edgeworth. Heh. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. Well, it happened, so it's time to tell us everything. I saw the whole thing. Watched that auction from start to finish. Well, you didn't just watch, right? You took pictures too. Yeah, about that. So, like I said, I was spying on the whole thing from the get-go. There was all this shouting out bids, and someone wins something, and bam, down comes the hammer. Heads on upstairs. Head on upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader. Then the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, as soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind their statue and hid. Eventually appeared. Didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of cold, hard cash. I'm not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. The sound of someone counting bills, perhaps. Anyway, the deal you set was you settled your bills up here. There are two people yabbering for a little while. Hi, Nova. Everyone missed you. Not me, though. I'm glad you're not in my room, by the way. That was like a relief. It would have been really annoying if I had to deal with that. Yes, hello, Nova. What's up? What's the matter, Nova? Yeah? Yeah? You tired? You tired, Nova? She just went and like laid down. Oh, nope, now she's playing and now she's running away from it. Yep, alright. That's a cat for you. There are two people yabbering for a while. Wait, so two people came up here on the elevator. You betcha. But I guess as the other one was our friend, the ringleader. Anyway, yabber, yabber, yabber. On it goes for a little while, then a scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good, so I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight. So you didn't see the moment of the murder? Nah, but I heard it real good. You didn't try and help with whoever's being attacked. Quit trying to be funny, girlie. It don't suit you none. I'm just a dainty little journalist all in our lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day? Dainty? Anyhow, there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right when this was happening, I got to feeling real bad about what I'd done. That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't. I didn't remember to get out my camera and snap even a single picture. Seems like that drops right in my lap and I miss it. Someone ought to tan my hide. Anyhow, there's a little more time goes by and there's this kind of clattering noise. And I'm here thinking, gotta get the shot this time. And so I grab one real quick from the shadows there. Can we see this photograph? Aw, do I have to? Oh, here. That's the person in the red raincoat, the one who attacked Kay. So Kay's raincoat assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom. Then proceeded up to the roof where they assaulted Kay. There's only one person in this picture. Where was the victim? Weird, huh? I wondered the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. I didn't see nobody else in the room neither. But that's the killer, alright. Leastways, I'm pretty sure it is. The victim disappeared? If only there was some kind of elevator of some kind. But nah, how do you know there was a killer just by looking? Because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would they get there, huh? The auction just carried on after that. Sure did. They just went on along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazier than a box of frost. I'll never understand how they think. True! True! Lot of heart? We might have something in common after all. Funny, I find journalists a struggle to understand as well. Edgeworth, also rich by the way. His art statement has been recorded. Big news. Hey, Kay. What? We can't show Kay the photo. You know, oh, there it is. That's them. That's the person who pushed me. You still don't remember their face? No, but the raincoat. It was. I'm sure it was. At least I'm sure. Maybe. Which is it, Kay? Are you sure or are you not? I don't know. When you look at me like that, my mind just goes blank. Never mind me. What about the person in the picture? I don't know. The raincoat is all I'm sure of. Which means that Kay can't be the murderer. I just have to find more evidence to support my case. Oh boy, this whole experience is enough to boggle a guy's mind. Mysterious storerooms, damsels in distress, it's got the lot. You at least try to take things a little more seriously, Fender. Heh heh, hey, I can try. No, but seriously, as to help Kay out as you are, she's safe with me. You go do your thing. It's not Kay I'm worried about, it's you. Wow, this thing is sold. What is that giant head thing? Is that the giant, great Miss Monkey? Mrs. Monkey? Remember the case well. How did they even get it up here? Miss Monkey, that doesn't sound right. Are you sure you didn't get the name wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Or misremembered it somehow? Gurk, don't be ridiculous, as if I'd ever make such a mistake. Okay. Storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, and you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well. Oh, well, yeah. But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction, do you remember? Of course, they came up from downstairs, back through the storeroom, and exactly, the killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? If you don't mind putting your skills to work for me now, I'd love to. You just say what you need, and I'll get right on it. Very well. I'd like you to check for blood residue. A luminol test, in other words. Sure thing. Prepare to witness the power of science. Sparkle with anticipation before. Alright, how about we test the ladder over there first? Based on Miss Hack's picture, I see the person in the red raincoat was about to climb it and make their escape, which means there is a high chance of positive result. Just here, just press A. I'll spray a little luminol on it. If it happens to land on some blood, you'll see it like this. It still feels super raw to see it appear like that. Anyway, that's a positive, but it's still faint. Trying it a couple more times will be enough to really make it stand out. Yeah, that brought it out nicely and made it feel like that much more real. Because it is real, Emma. I can't believe we're on like case 4 and they're giving me a fucking tutorial. What is this, a Persona game? That's how it's done. Take a go around and see if you can find some other place to test with the luminol. Oh, I don't know. How about this place? Wow, I'm so good at video games. Who could have possibly guessed that the open box was it? But how could I have gotten there? Maybe someone put something with blood on it in there. It's a place we haven't tested yet. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, interesting. We got a positive. There's blood here, but how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I say. Oh, looks like some of it dripped through to the floor below, too. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Alright, then that concludes our phase of our investigation. Whoa! Blood in the clothes box can only mean one thing, that this is where the body was hidden. Oh, I'm certain of it. Wonder who won in the box in the auction. I haven't the foggiest idea. Still, it's a very helpful discovery. Now you just hold your horses there. There's no way the body could have been in there. What do you mean? Take a look at that box when I first got in here. Looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arises. Maybe it would have been if I could have opened it. It was wrapped in chains and locked up tight. And I ain't no escapologist. The murder happened just a little after I scoped it out, so nobody could have put a body in there, wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd, because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer. Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have sworn it was, though. There's stuff we need still? Holy shit. What? That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. It has one of those steins in front of it. Indeed, take a look at the outline of the dust and the shape. Something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you say? You know what? I think you might be right. But I'm drawing a blank on trying to imagine what. Shaped outline. Don't we have a piece of evidence that might as well be connected? Okay, I guess I'll go show you the evidence, bozo. The outline of the dust matches the bottom of the candelabrum. Exactly! I'd say there's a very strong case for that. This is where our murder took its form. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case. So it seems likely, but that's not our concern right now. The key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from this storeroom. Yep, we have examined everything. Great. Time to see what's waiting down below. Shaking a leg already, are we, Miles? Okie dokie, hey. K-Meister. Yes, Fender. We're about to ready move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost. Of course, I'll be sure to stay close. When did those two start getting along so well? Fender is a nice guy. I don't think we could fit 45-mile Edgeworths on this elevator, considering we can barely fit 5. Whoa. Mr. Edgeworth? Dark Souls ass elevator? True. This room. This is the auction room. No, this is the committee chamber. Yeah. Way to drop right into my lap, Kay Faraday. You got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men. Arrest her right now. Wait, but as for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong. You can't do this. This is going way overboard. Yeah, what she said. Miles, this isn't looking good, I gotta say. See how the blinding light of justice shines on me. Yeah! Owie! Wait, what did I do? True! What the fuck did Gumshoe do? He was doing his best to defend us. You have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor. You weren't aiming for him. You were aiming straight at me. Something keeps getting in my way. Something... Yeah! He knows what he did. Right there. Francisca. So, what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I still believe Kay to be innocent. And we're supposed to care what you believe. You don't have the right to an opinion. I am Francisca von Carmen. I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you chose to stop by giving up your badge. And so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle to proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped. I've simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road, all the way to the truth. So you don't think for a second that my conviction has changed. I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was. So you think that you know what lies at the end of that road to the truth. In that case, I demand that you show me. I'll explain my current theory first, and if your road fails to lead anywhere, my whip will happily guide it. Hell yeah. Tell me what you got. Uh-huh. 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 Wrong! On the floor proves my theory. Game, set, and match, Mr. Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth. QED. Huh. She doesn't like the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. And I gotta say, I can dig that vibe. I can even give her a no-heart eek! Pathetic. Well, Miles Edgeworth, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? You really found the road to the truth. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to point me towards it. I'd be very happy to. Settle in, Francisca. I'm about to pave that road with incontrovertible evidence. You got to end this shaman with her killer. That's wrong! Elevator! Oh. She was then stabbed with the candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. That much is true. Really any of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. Objection! Okay, you do not accept this one yet. Feel the sting of my whip. Don't show me every meaningless item you happen to cram in your pockets. Yeah! At least I'm not giving you meaninglessly. Scientifically speaking, that whip looks like it was made to inflict the maximum amount of pain possible. Well, unscientifically speaking, I can tell you that it hurts a lot. Then I guess you just have to try your best to avoid getting hit, huh? Hold it! Have you managed to prove conclusively that the letter found on the victim was sent by Kay? I wasn't aware that there was any doubt on that front. Are you suggesting it was a forgery? Well, if there was any doubt, there isn't any longer. Document analysis turned up nothing. Nothing to suggest the involvement of anyone other than the sender and the recipient, or of any forgery. Are you saying that they found Kay's prints? No, only the victims. Well then, how can you for sure say that Kay did the deed? Haven't you been listening? Document analysis found nothing to suggest the letter was a forgery. Basically, the letter was sent by Kay Faraday. The fact that more than adequately proves the identity of the murderer. Okay. It's here in the committee trial chamber. Yeah? What about this? Objection! Oh my god. Hold it! You can prove that the murder happened here in the committee chamber, I suppose. Yvonne Comer is perfect in every way. Or did you forget that when you handed in your badge? Hold it! Hold it. Has the blood been analyzed to see what it belongs to? Oh, cool, you forgot, Miles. George, everything is evident in the courtroom. So please, present your proof that the murder occurred elsewhere. Okay. But that doesn't mean I can't give her the evidence she clearly desires. I feel like I could... Oh my god, I pressed instead of fucking... kill me. Objection! Okay. I feel like I could have sent this anywhere, but... Sorry, these sun chips are just baller. If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine, a brazen act even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this if you will. The blood stain was discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found looks to have dripped through to the room below. The elevator it dripped down from descends directly to the foot of the statue. Ah, you noticed. Then will you agree that the murder cannot in fact have happened in this room? I put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above, and only afterwards was she moved down here. The Goddess of Justice did not witness a murder. She witnessed a killer trying to cover up their tracks. Why is she smiling? Sorry, I was just thinking back to a very similar situation. Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more foolish than I thought. Mr. Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sir, and you know it. Youch! Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded? Even a cursory glance shows that there is far more blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs. Ouch, ripped and ignored again. Joe! You're telling me that all that blood dripped from above, Miles Edgeworth? If it had, your storeroom stain would have needed to be 10 times as big. I say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. Heh, as insightful as ever, Francisco, but you played right into my hands. Oh, so! You are correct. There's far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is why? A trifling detail in the face of my previous explanation. Doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some splatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you? They got Maruki and Metaphor, Refantasio? Thinking on this. They got Maruki and Metaphor, Refantaz. Yes! Correct. Whoa, like some crazy fountain of blood. No way. No way indeed. It's completely impossible. So how about this? What if this explains the difference in the amount of blood observed? The fact that more blood was in the committee room than the storeroom ago was because the victim died of 3 stab wounds. Wounds that would have bled profusely. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room. That doesn't make any sense. Not if she was stabbed in the storeroom. You said there wasn't much blood up there already. Eek! Silence, you half-baked harebrained rookie. Hey, harebrained is a little... Ah! The stab wound bleeds heaviest at one particular point in time. Oh, I know, when the weapon is removed, right? Precisely. I believe that the body was brought down to the committee chamber while the candelabrum was still in its chest. And then when it was finally removed, it created the difference in the amount of blood we see between the 2 locations. But why? What was the killer trying to do? I imagine they were trying to give the impression that the murder happened down here. As we know, Miss Ringer's card was used late last night. Judging by the time listed in the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer when they entered the room to create their elaborate setup. But why would they have needed to do all this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation. If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secrets exposed. Underground auction? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more than explain what was going on here last night. It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth, how desperately you want to protect your friends. There's something just beneath the surface of this case, something bigger than all of us. And Kay's only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the midst of it. That's quite the hyperbolic claim, Miles Edgeworth. Hyperbolic? Me? Surely you're the one making a mountain of my perfectly reasonable molehill? You're working with Interpol in this international cases, so why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why, because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of the items being smuggled by the ring and wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that the something I sense isn't related to any of this. I'm very happy to learn that you've given up your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses. Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that, by the way. Sorry, sir. I just thought it might help, you know? You did the right thing, detective. So am I right, Francisca? Is this incident part of this broader case you're working? Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you don't need to, so you won't. Then you knew, didn't you? The auction was being held here in this chamber. Hey, y'all mind if I butt in for a second? Your victim over there, the lady in white? You! Hey! Let a gal finish, will ya? No good button in pain in the you-know-what? Youch! Well, this leopard sure ain't changed her spots. Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence. What do you mean? I'm a journalist. You can't ow! You're a liar is what you are. You lied under oath that one time. Seems like Miss Von Karma's none too fond of Miss Hart, huh? I don't think she's her biggest fan, no. What's she called? Ringer, right? She was a member of this here committee. Well, she dressed exactly like the ringleader of their secret auction. Ah, stop it. Stop whipping me, dang it. What is the meaning of this interruption? Miles Edgeworth, explain. Miss Hart here helped us out by describing how the auctioneer was dressed. It seems that they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader. Now, how about we just calm down and say, "Arr!" Seems I have some new information to consider. It's true that I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest its head of operations, the auctioneer. But if Miss Hart is to be believed, the ringleader is dead. Guess that means your journey here today was wasted. I suppose it does. Nonetheless, I, Franziska von Karma, refuse to leave empty-handed. Time for a rematch. Miles Edgeworth. Fine by me. But you may find that your whip will go surely underused this round. Latest theory. Okay. 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 In the chest with a piece of merchandise to candelabrum. I mean, yeah. There, does that sum it up? Because I won't be accepting rebuttals. There's a serious hole in your testimony? What? Seems pretty reasonable to me. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Hold it!
How exactly did you come to that conclusion? Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none mentioned a secret storeroom. Seems its existence was well known to a handful of people, and of course, the storeroom was where the items were to be sold in the auction were being kept. Very good. There's a link between knowledge of the storeroom and involvement in the auction. Sure. It was an attendee.
Hold it!
Uh-huh. Seems that the victim and the ringleader were one and the same. I do, and the murderer was... Why are you asking her this? You just said the exact same thing yourself, dummy. So I did. But I was merely confirming Franziska's reasoning in order to. I don't give me that horse feed. You get caught saying something stupid, you give a little laugh, then you move on with your day. The murderer was one of the auction attendees. What? You don't got no notes for our friend here after that little performance of his. Of course, assuming that our friend the photographer's words can be trusted. Anyway, the more relevant point here is how the culprit already carried out their plan. The victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. What's the matter, Nova? How exactly did they manage that, may I ask? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember? Yes, hiding someplace. If you've seen the storeroom yourself, you know that there are plenty of other places to hide, too. Saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival. After the auction had concluded, after all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely have needed to be present throughout the proceedings. It happened afterwards. Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Franziska? Nova! What are you possibly meowing that much about? Meow indeed!
Objection!
I think she's good. Seems you're one step behind yet again, Franziska. How so? The auctioneer was not, in fact, the victim. And I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hart gave us. But if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it. Damn. All right, bye, Nova. I told you, I'm a journalist, dang now. My word is youch. Did I ask? Did I ask? You could have ended it there, Franziska. Double youch.
Objection!
Objection. Calm down and listen for a second, Franziska. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder, and she confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder had occurred. You bet it did. Went right on like nothing had happened at all. How would that have been possible without an auctioneer? It wouldn't. So you see, the victim couldn't have been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees. No, yeah, obviously. As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Kay could be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim really? Right, well, the auction carried out after the murder, the victim must have not been the auctioneer, but an attendee. That's enough. I know the sound all too well. Ba-bum. or in the courtroom. All rise for the chairman. Oh, there's no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that will do nicely. Alright, Celsius, what are you doing here? Oh, I just stopped by to see how my boneheaded boy was getting along. They say there are all sorts of families, but I'm not sure these two are what they meant. I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching high and low for is right back where we started. Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent. Shut your muddling mouth. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleared up as soon as possible. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. It's bad for us, and it's bad for me, too. Personally, sorry. It must be my age, Sob. Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you have forgotten, you are no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. But what's more, there is the matter of you aiding and embedding a suspect. She's right, of course. As always, you really are a godsend, Verity. Everything I do knowingly. If you wish to prosecute me for it, be my guest, but know this. We have uncovered a new suspect, this person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this purse. You can stop right there, Mr. Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found on the hood, along with some cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals? Like the ones on the roof? Yes, they were stuck to the edges of the blood stains. Probably due to the blood being fresh at the time. The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. The person in your picture is the victim. Miss Rosie Ringer. What? Double what? I think it's great that this game has people who are just evil. I guess. Worn by the victim whose fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. And? No, that's completely undermines our entire case. Our assumptions are based on the person in the raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victim instead, then Kay remains at the top of the suspect list. Miss Faraday, you testified to have encountered a person in a red raincoat on the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We now know that that person was a murder victim. No, we don't? Fucking what? And you are the only person we know who came into contact with her. Since one of you wound up dead, I think we all know what how that encounter went. No, Kay was attacked by that person. She's the victim here, not the aggressor. As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim. She has amnesia. She was in the hospital. Am I going crazy? And even if such proofs existed, Miss Ringer could have simply been acting in self-defense. After she was stabbed by a candelabrum through the heart and brought all the way downstairs? Yeah, shut the fuck up. We can't just jump to conclusions like that. Kay is innocent. But I'm not. Okay? I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now, right when it happened. The murder, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. No, you're not. You can't be. Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like that? They were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Why was I just standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. This court recognized the legitimacy of the accused members. Fuck you. Actually go fuck yourself. No. No. Her memory is extremely unreliable. What? But you said you didn't believe her like 5 minutes ago. I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. Praise be the gods of justice for many blessings. Objection. As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that the suspect be... We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant. How dare you take that tone with me? This is a gross overreach of authority. I demand that you give us more time to investigate. You say my investigation is unlawful. What could be more unlawful than this? Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law. Indeed you don't. But I do. And while I can't help but be moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity. Speaking of the law, it seems there is one other we must arrest. Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Miles, Miles, Miles. What are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth was just doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't doing squat. By which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles is no longer serving in any kind of official capacity. You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Whereas you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. Fucking no, he didn't! You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You're a criminal, nothing more. Ugh. Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Concerning your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow. Although, I fear I already know the outcome. Look at this as an opportunity to reflect on your actions, Miles. A chance to really think long and hard. The court is adjourned. To be continued. I'm about to fucking chokeslam every single person involved in this case for not pointing out how fucking stupid this all is. Holding cell. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. They stripped me of all the evidence so painfully gathered. If they did let me keep Kay's Yatagarasu pen. Can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. Come on, let's go. You've got a visitor. A visitor? Who? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him right away? No. I'm not sure what to even say to him. Wait there. Don't leave me unsupervised. You have the intrusion. Judge Gavel. Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a seat. What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe. I imagine you wouldn't come if you knew it was me. What could you possibly want from me now? Suppose I better find out. You may not be aware of this, but you are only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors. So to be treated like a dangerous criminal, am I? I suppose my reputation has rather plummeted. Why? Literally, why? All he's done is solve crimes. It has indeed, for you, of course, and your friends. That attorney and the other girl were raising quite the fuss earlier. Fender and Emma. I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards. No, you didn't. May thank the goddess in that regard, for even she is too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They'll not be punished for their bad behavior. Did you come here just to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. I just thought you would like to know. I figured you would have been worried how they were all doing. I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. Let's cut it to the chase, Your Honor. What are you really here for? Nova, what are you really here for? Huh? You smell something? What do you smell? Huh? The bag? Nothing? Alright. You just gonna walk away, punk? Yeah? Aren't you cool? Your liver. True. I'm simply here to talk, nothing more. There is something I wish to know about you. Me? Yes. Who else? Objectively speaking, you are highly intelligent and quick-witted. And a born prosecutor at that. Please, Judge Gavel, your sarcastic phrases all but salt on my wounds. But I seriously mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, and is why I failed to understand you. Take this latest case, for example. You were up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of succeeding. Even a child could have seen that, and yet... Heh. I don't imagine the old me would have been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that, I thought that justice was always on my side, just as you and the committee believe now. A certain person changed my mind. He made me reckon with my selfish and skewed sense of justice. And once the scales had fallen from my eyes, I began to look at people differently. I saw that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, the many investigative officers of the force, and even Kay. It changed me. The degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day. I see. Thank you. I feel that perhaps I understand you a little better now. You understand me. I highly doubt it. Someone who is so focused on forcing their ideas of justice onto others can't possibly see what I see. Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I'll say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation, that is all. Before I go, there is one remaining matter. I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. If that was all you had to tell me, you could have just sent a message. Entrust the goddess's words to another. That wouldn't do, would it? Never name Phoenix ever. True. Till then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. Time to break out of jail, boys. Very basic bed. I can't say I was very comfortable to sleep on, however. Would sleep soundly on it, nevertheless, loud snoring all the while. I suppose we'll probably never get to work together again. I don't have any regrets about the bed I've made. I'll follow my own path to the end. Start digging. Your menu here on the table. Seems that detainees are able to pay to have their meals brought to their cell. What looks good? Spaghetti and mac and cheese lunch. Add linguine for only $1. Bastami and rice special. For limited time only, add regular white rice at no extra cost. Best that I'm not very hungry. Window is barred with heavy steel. That reminds me of a movie I once saw. A prisoner made hash a plot to escape by using a file to cut his cell bar. I'll be doing that, of course. For one thing, I don't have a file on me at the moment. What am I saying? I wouldn't do it even if I had one. Doubt. I barely spent any time in here, and already I can feel my personal appearance slipping. I may have given up my badge, but I mustn't give up on myself. My collar. It's slightly creased. There. A tidy outside, but gets a tidy inside. Which is why it's more important now than ever to take care of myself. I must be a fucking mess then. Inside. It's a poster in the corner outside. Regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of Destiny game will be discontinued. Inmates will no longer need to roll a dice every morning to determine the meals of the day. We wholeheartedly apologize to those who are looking forward to their daily casting of the die. Anyone really need an apology for the cessation of such a ridiculous idea in the first place? Do you have another visitor? Kay! Oh, thank goodness you seem alright. That's a load off my mind. Ah, such a heartwarming scene. It's enough to sniffle, make a grown man cry. But you're still not your usual cheery. I mean, you have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there is no me left to believe in? None at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a bit of time together. I dare say you left quite an impression on me. So you see, there's still plenty of you left. That's why I believe you so much in your innocence, and why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. It would just cause more pain for the both of us. Please, you have to forget her. Forget that Kay. She's gone. Kay, no! Prison gambling, canceled. You remind me of my younger self, you know, so noble, so bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for. Justice. I suppose you could call it that. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? Can't you get the feeling that something is very wrong here? There's some hidden agenda at play. There's no time to second guess myself. I'm gonna find out what it is. It's now or never. Oh, then my boy, I suppose I should be... Wait. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? Doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness. I think this guy's evil. What gave it away? Come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. It is through Chairman Winter. So much to ask in so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. Why are you so keen to push Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. Tut tut, I advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. You need to remind you of your position. Goggles hurts me. True. I suppose we did let your friend go free. What then? What do you mean, what then? Think how it would look, my boy, and who would have to take the blame? Me, that's who. I've got you now. You're backed into a corner and you don't even know it. What are you going on about by your lonesome over there? What the fuck? I should have picked my words more wisely. Okay. Stare. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt. Ah, you're breaking my heart, Sob. Just look at this flood of tears spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered. Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. So it doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that you might just be overthinking things a little? Chairman Winter certainly knows how to dodge a question, but it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest, and whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. Do we? It's clear he doesn't care. How much time was spent on your investigation altogether? Well, now, let's see. You know what? I'm not sure I can remember. And I'm sure you can. You won't bluster your way out of this one. It's no bluster, my boy. I honestly don't recall. It's a problem when you get to my age, you see. Then dig a grave and lie in it. Why, I even forget my own son's name sometimes. Never mind your fool of a son. Answer me. How long did you spend on the investigation, Sniffle? You're right, of course. The boy's a fool. I never meant for him to grow up like this, but uh-oh. Woe is me, Sniffle. He's too happy to derail the conversation no matter where I take it. I have to force him to take this seriously. Try another tact for now. You can always say that your investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called all those shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy. You're chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man to tears. Well, have to forgive me. I'm not that the differential type. Well, you're going to have to insist on being so blunt. Then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge anytime soon, Sniffle. I don't need that badge anyway. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles. Even you must understand that much. So young. So very young. Word of advice, Miles, from someone who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so. Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time was spent on your investigation altogether? You, you really don't give up, do you? Even my patience has its limits, you know. What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? Ah, the youth these days are wont to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared? Hardly. I was just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all. You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Deal is with the... I mean, it's water and fire, right? I guess. Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. Damn. Yeah, but why? I don't know, man. Sometimes Ace Attorney people just have, like, gimmicks to them. Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them. So why not give it up, dear boy? No. And why not? It's simple, because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting, I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. He burns the evidence. True. What you're doing is pointless, tragically sniffle, and miserably pointless. Please, just give up. Sob. She's guilty. The decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt has already been determined from her before her arrest. What are you trying to imply? I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? Hence the name? That's cringe. That's an intriguing theory. But it's also a complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you? No, he's trying to make his escape. We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. Oh, it's sped up. Okay. It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. More of the Excelsius part. You did say to name himself Celsius. Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of all this talking. So make it brief, will you? Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded. Yes, I think we were all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure her release anyhow. How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law? My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse is only so long. What? Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man. Or are you just pretending to be busy, huh? That's, Sniffle, an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could I even hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense? You obviously don't want to be talking about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? It's just so tragic, it really is, Sob, that you would just suspect me of such things. It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest, for a start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There's plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, these were all in her possession. And, of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away. Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes. It's true I can't counter your arguments right now, but you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. You read off that list like you knew it inside out. I think that might prove to be a valuable clue. That's just clumsy. Anyone can blurt out a baseless accusation like that. Even a disgraced superstar prosecutor. Nah. Alright. Okay, so I have to go back into the I still have questions. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested? You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory. Brother, I'm already fucked up. I appreciate if you stop playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you only when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest? You're a sharp one, I'll give you that. My son could learn a thing or two from you. If he wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the request. You're very mean. You know that, don't you? The arrest, you said. I believe the order was given by... Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you. Alright, you got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear this little misunderstanding up. Understand your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if you can put your mind at ease. The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. So to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand. We're about a few moments from the truth. The suspect, Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know she's the suspect, and aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true. I don't have a clue how to proceed with this line of questioning. I better try another tact for now. You seem to know the case in quite some detail. I know about lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that. Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. A very busy man. Yeah, his full name really would be Excelsius Winner. Yep. Do try to remember that. I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I choose. It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround we've done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. I, Sniffle, have to be a good role model. I can't be seen slacking. I can't be so hard. What? I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from back to cover. I got you now. Oh shit. Okay, fucking fine, whatever. It's impossible to tell what the fuck this wants me to do. Like, I know I push when he's crying and I pass when he's using his lighter. That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you're a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you could start by releasing Kay, you know? You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy, Sniffle. But a tragic one, too. After all, your efforts are for naught. Afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. We have yet to hear much about the circumstance under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storm room, correct? That's right. Although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be very aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. Subject Kay Faraday, how much do you know about her? Yeah, okay. Fucking, no. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winner? Oh, there's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How do you like me now, huh? I do have to commend you on your doggedness. It really is something. I'll take that as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I, Sniffle, don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for good sake? Load her down with, yet another interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer to your own question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you. Shed light on the truth. Kay is innocent. No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she would take the fall instead. That is my answer. I won't let you deny it any longer. Hi, Nova. Oh ho ho, oh ho 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 ho. My. You really are a sharp one, It's a bit of a shame you chose to hand in your badge. I admit it, you're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate. Alright, Gumshoe. Show that you were here the whole time. You knew Kate was the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it. There you go with that naivety again, my boy. I guess that was always your problem. With the girl arrested and the conviction secured, this whole mess goes away. That's what will happen. Whose interest does a conclusion like that serve? The committee's, I suppose. And mine? Oh. You know, listening to you just now was, well, it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere, and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that, but your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth, you make it little by little. Kay Faraday, murderer, that's the truth. The truth I created. Grr. Yes, my boy. That's what I like to see. Okay, then that's not the truth. You understand this, correct? You're so sincere sometimes it's painful. It just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened? You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it is worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here. Curse you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this. And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Sniffle. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. And so Edgeworth took out a gun and shot him. I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winter. There's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world. Oh, fuck? It's happening. There's no to be continued. All right, fuck it. I'll ball. Let me go get the tea started. I got plenty of water. Ten members of a majority are present. To order. We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Professor Miles Edgeworth. Pass fair and frank judgment. Fair and frank? Don't make me laugh. Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth. T Gaming, true. On April 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducted, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winter. His actions compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. Despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent of all charges. Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course. On the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in the committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Eustace Winter, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winter. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. Same night as an illicit auction was being held here in this very room. Ringer took part of that auction, I think, yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Miss Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. Deduced nothing of the sort. What about the base on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winter? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by crushing remorse, Eustace. Yeah, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the rooftop of this building when she encountered a person in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. That person was Miss Ringer, I take it. Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. By the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who won the race to find the raincoat nearby? Me, that's who. Did you? I thought it was someone from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensics investigators under Mr. Winter's commands. I knew it! The blood analyst on the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. In the suspect's confession on the final nail in the coffin, she confirmed having committed the murder. So as you can see, Care Faraday was the killer. There's no way anyone else could have done it. Alright, Miles, I expect you have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winter. Well, now, is that so? I thought it would have taken more than a single night in detention to break you. Objection. No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. When the matter of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty. I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winter's investigation was fair and impartial. Of course it was. When it comes to carefully conducting ops, I'm the winner every time. You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is purely hypothetical, of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat on this committee. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Miles Edgeworth? If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You'll watch your mouth. Only the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I made a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on the incident is. You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it will make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Really? But sir, this will be his last hurrah, so let's humor him with the send-off he deserves. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. Evidence data received from Judge Gavel. You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume. None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine. You'll see. Hey, how the fuck did Kay get the weapon? Mr. Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up to the roof. On the viewing platform, that's where Mr. Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view of the case. The raincoat was on offer that night. Is that really true? We believe so, yes. Remember that failed assassination attempt on the president of Gen Phi, I assume? Raincoat is a piece of evidence from that case. It should, of course, have remained safely under lock and key in the appropriate facility, but our inquiries revealed that it did, in fact, go missing under mysterious circumstances. Wound up in the auction along with everything else. That makes sense, I suppose. Wonderful work, Verity. Just wonderful. Crystal clear as ever. You flatter me, sir. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you could save us all some time and simply admit defeat? Huh. I'll do no such thing, thank you very much. Very well. It's good to know that you still have some fight in you. Is it? Why? Come to think of it, she said something strange things when she visited me this morning, too. What exactly is she up to? Potential buyer. The raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So her assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up to the roof. After she emerged on the viewing platform, when Mr. Ringer was attacked from Miss Faraday.
Hold it!
Miss Ringer was a member of the committee. Could she not have left the committee chamber via the main door? While the auction was still underway, that would risk exposing its existence to those outside the trusted circle of attendees. Miss Hart found out about it. I think its existence is already well and exposed. So yeah, the attendees were to enter and leave via the hatch in the roof. Miss Ringer had no reason to follow those rules, and given the murder took place, we know that she must have done so.
Hold it!
But why? What possibly motive could Kay have had? Exactly what we were hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews with Miss Faraday. Coercive interrogation after the fact, something you seem to specialize in. If the murderer knew the attendees would be leaving via the hatch, the roof would have been the perfect place to lie in wait. So I was saying, after she emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Mr. Ringer was attacked. Her flame went out, and thus concludes the community's view of the case.
Hold it!
Her flame went out. The flame of her life, Mr. Edgeworth, though perhaps her flame was stolen from her is more apt. The candelabrum that extinguished her life was one of the auction lots. Mickey had no way of getting a hold of it to begin with. Miss Faraday could not have laid in wait for the victim without knowing of the storeroom's existence. She could easily have snuck down the ladder and stole it while the auction was underway. If only we knew where the candle holder was during the auction. That would surely clear the matter up, no? Well, either of you. Sadly, we don't have anything that could tell us much on that in the moment. Forgive me, sir. That is something we were hoping to establish through further investigation. Well, isn't that a shame, Miles, my boy? It seems this line of inquiry is some of a dead end, isn't it? The theory is that the victim and her killer met on the roof, and that's where the murder took place. In other words, it assumes the viewing platform was the scene of the crime. But is that really the case? I thought I had evidence that clearly shows the story of what happened that night. Time to double check.
Objection!
Okay, I guess not. Maybe it's here instead.
Objection!
Yeah, well, no, why? Do you believe there is something wrong with it? Well, no, nothing seems out of place. Okay, I guess not there either. Ah, well, that blew up in my face. Oh. Wait. The mysterious auction. Auction continued even after murder was occurred. Items on sale were mainly items and police evidence. Why doesn't that have the data I need? All of this. Maybe it's the fucking casket.
Objection!
Ah! Okay.
Objection!
Fucking finally! Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Gavel. But what is Miss Hart doing here at this hearing? She is an eyewitness. I thought it would be obvious. Well, no, I ain't really an eyewitness. More of an ear witness, I guess. Heh. She's not exactly the most confidence-inspiring choice to help you make your case, is she? I do think I'd choose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. Then you should question them more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo taken by Miss Hart. Yes, in the storeroom, correct? What of it? According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof. But according to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom, just before she took this picture. Wait, you're saying Gavel got it wrong. That's exactly what I'm saying. Whoa, what? Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events you witnessed that night, you saw the person in the picture, correct? I sure did, clear as day, with my own 2 eyes to boot. And what were your impressions at that point? My impression? This right here is a scoop of the century, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. I was hoping more for your impressions of the person in question. Oh, that there's a walk-in meal ticket? Seriously? Just my little joking. Don't you look at me like I've done sat on your lunch. All red raincoat, right? Well, I took one look at him and I thought that's our perp right there. And therein lies the rub. For Miss Hart to have thought such a thing means that the murder occurred. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? It is an explanation of the facts that you require. You need only ask, you know. Ask, you know. What do you mean? I assume you're about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated? Unrelated? You could do better than that. Was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Ringer's? You're kidding me, right? Them folks were talking crime-related during Turkey, or my name ain't Lotta Danged Hart. Oh, but did you hear them clearly? Well, can't rightly say for sure, but... God, can't really say nothing, and you know it. They was using voice changers. I done told you that already. Precisely, Miss Hart heard voices, but those verses were disguised. Which means we cannot even be certain that whatever she did overheard had anything to do with the murder.
Objection!
What the fuck? Heh. You don't need to yell objection in order to sigh at me, Mr. Edgeworth. True! It seems I overestimated you, Judge Gavel. Nonsense. Verity's the best of us, my boy. The very best. And yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have anything to do with the murder. Even supposing that's the case, it doesn't prove the murder didn't happen in the storeroom. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up to the roof. That much we can say for certain. And I can tell you why. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the fucking blood on their hands.
Take that!
You see that the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Yes, because Miss Hart said as much. Indeed, she told us about the blood she saw on this person's hand. I doubt many people would have thought differently given her testimony. Ergo, this person is the killer, and the blood we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing what we know now, that this person is in fact the victim, it recontextualizes everything. The presence of the blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack, but now it tells us something very important about the victim too. That the victim survived the attack. No doubt in my mind that the victim was attacked in the storeroom, but here we have photographic evidence of her standing upright and alive, albeit with a bloodied hand. This can only mean that Miss Ringer survived the attack. The blood on her hand is from the wounds she had sustained. What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound? The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winter. I imagine she had used her hand to try to staunch a wound. That's right. While it's impossible to tell from this angle, the victim was already mortally wounded here. Oh, well that certainly would change things, wouldn't it? It very much would, at least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Her encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken, after the victim had already been attacked and was in critical condition. I put it to you that Kay witnessed was the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. That would have been quite the coincidence. It's a textbook case of wrong place, wrong time, I'd say. You seem to be forgetting a rather important fact, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that or pretending to not remember it. What? What fact am I forgetting? I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you, Verity? Put the boy out of his misery. Dad, Gavel works for me. Why do you keep giving her orders? That's my job. You really are, Sniffle. A total and utter embarrassment. True? Am not. I hate to break it to you, but you both are. True? Go to it, Gavel. Put Everett sort of out of his misery. As you wish. What? You're forgetting. Miss Stringer's body was found with 3 wounds in the chest. We all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right. They're from when she was stabbed in the chest by 3-armed candelabrum. Not anyone could have survived such grave wounds. Get to read the coroner's report. I'm sure you would change your tune. Nicely done, Gavel. Now Edgeworth will make several objections. Yes, I'm afraid I will. What? Why? Weren't you listening? Oh, I was listening. Very carefully, in fact. Hence my objections. Come on. Why do you always have to undermine me? That's never my intention, I assure you. It isn't. Because you do it so well yourself every single time already. Of course it isn't. I knew that because, please, Eustace, just stop for goodness sake. You already embarrassed me enough. Huh? What do you mean, Dad? Damn. What you're forgetting. It was found with 3 wounds in its chest. That's true. What those wounds are from, don't we? That's right, they're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum. Anyone can survive such grave wounds.
Hold it!
The victim may not necessarily have died instantly. I think we can say that much at least. Perhaps, but she would surely not have lived for longer than a few moments either. So there are people who could survive even if you stab them in the chest. Sure, there might be. There might not be, too. So which is it? Trust me, there are not. And in case you're still tempted to believe there might be. Was that you, Nova? It might have just been you.
Hold it!
The coroner report. Cause of death is the set of 3 puncture wounds on the left side of the chest inflicted by a candle holder. Well done for reading, Mr. Edgeworth. That report forms the basis of my own conclusions. Well, it says I can disprove your conclusions too. You have the strangest sense of humor. But I wouldn't mind seeing you try. However, before you do so, I'd advise you to read that report very carefully. After all, I'm not interested in your opinions, only in solidly grounded deductions. Very well, then you shall have my deductions. Alright, fucking... This last night. Cause of death. The 3 puncture wounds on the left side of this. Was it a head injury post-mortem? Prominent burn marks on back of victim's right hand. Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry, Kay. Everything will be alright. You need to find something to prove that the victim was still alive and breathing immediately after the attack. If I can't, Kay's fate will be sealed.
Objection!
Okay. This seems like the one they want us to put something towards. If you read the coroner's report, I'm sure you would change your tune.
Hold it!
You should have stabbed to the chest for the cause of death. There's no doubt about that. None. One of the spikes of the cannon even pierced the victim's heart. Unless you mean to call Dr. Hurt's professional opinion into question, we can only treat that as fact. Opinion backed up my own winning ones. Now that's what we call flawless victory. Well, I'm certainly not about to ignore the coroner's findings. Hey, what about my findings? You can't just ignore them. If the cause of death really was the puncture wounds to the chest from the candelabrum, that would seem to contradict one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered. He's not just ignoring my findings, he's ignoring me. Do something, Gavel. I ignore the rest of my conclusions. Ba-da. Well, if she died instantly, how did she possibly get to this position? What the fuck are they talking about, man? Stab him to the chest post-mortem. Don't we? No, anyone can survive such grave wounds. Is it the raincoat?
Objection!
Yeah, okay. Brain work still. We ball. Chairman Winter, you know what this is, of course. The red raincoat. That's right, isn't it, Verity? Yes, sir. The one Mr. Ringer was wearing. I warn you, Mr. Edgeworth, you will not be... Thanks for retreading old ground here. Well, I'm afraid I might have to, regardless. Now then, you will answer this, Judge Gavel. You told us that the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat. But do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course, they were found on the hood and... No! What's the matter, Verity? The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else in the raincoat? No, it was not. Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was only blood on the hood. That's a glaring contradiction if I ever saw one. The head wound the victim suffered wasn't just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain the head injury first. As you said, if she had been stabbed first, there would be blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, Miss Ringer couldn't have been stabbed before the head injury had been inflicted to her. But if we concede this point, then the head injury came before the chest wound. What difference would it make? How does it change our understanding of the case? I say it changes things to a great deal. In fact, it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. That's quite the bold claim, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to admit, you have me intrigued. Perhaps you could show us this fundamental contradiction. With some evidence. This best demonstrates the contradiction of the order of the injuries repeal.
Take that!
The doctor has preliminary findings, according to which the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. But the order suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is exactly the opposite, yes. Bailiff, the court hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hertz to the committee chamber with all due haste. Till she testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close. Yes, Your Honor. I'll go fetch her at once. Fortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she'll be able to come immediately. We're updating that autopsy report? Literally, yeah, huh? In the meantime, there's another important angle I'd like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. So-called ringleader. Who exactly are they? Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh? Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't know even the most basic facts that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter? You've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence as the auctioneer's identity as of yet, but there is someone involved with the case that I can name. So at the very least, they might be able to point us in the right direction. And that's Chairman Winner. I demand that you testify as to what you know. What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad? You would cast down the integrity of the chairman of the committee. You understand the implications of such an act. I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about a man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The mask, core shots, ticket stub, and everything else. The items Kay were carrying when she was found. They were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. Shocking accusation, one I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing? To cast suspicion on Kay, of course, why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect. Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please. I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? You say you got me to admit as much, but where is your proof, With no witnesses to speak of, your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has the arrogance he showed back at the detention center, and yet... Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to have to ask you to explain yourself. If that's alright, Mr. Chairman. Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles might have gotten the idea that I'm sort of criminal. Because he'll never find a more fine, upstanding citizen than myself. He has a lot of nerve acting all innocent like that. Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hollowed trial chamber is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by rights, only be accessible by members of the committee. Yeah, they all have key cards to the room after all. Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible, there can only be one winning explanation. That's right, Mr. Winner. The auctioneer is a member of the committee. What? No. What on earth is wrong now? What do I do, Dad? I played right into his hands. Oh, you did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you've cast the wide net with your explanation. That's true. There are 11 members of the committee together. 10 given Miss Ringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in all. No, it certainly isn't me. And it can't be the chairman, can it? Whoever it is, speak up right now. Come now. All of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you have against me? Heh, you're very quiet all of a sudden. It's too late to back out now. You accuse a former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime, Girk. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. Know your place. You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I can hardly even remember. But you needn't have bothered, my boy, because it's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said she did it. I thought that at the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it, so rejoice. And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes in it as you see fit. How can I, when it was barely a testimony to begin with? That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm the murderer. I even remember doing it. You saw a flash of something half-remembered, Kay. Nothing more. If you must believe in something... Believe me when I say you shouldn't believe in your... believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead, but... Up against the head of the committee. Here. This isn't going to be easy, but he seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him. Believe in me who that believes in you. Exactly. I'll argue over every little detail for a while now. Press it! Even if the broad strokes are correct, it doesn't make something true. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I'd say the bigger picture is more than enough here. After all, every case has its little inconsistencies and contradictions. If we let ourselves get bogged down every single time, we never make any arrests. Oh no! And once we did, the trials would drag on forever. Even you understand that, right? Not in the slightest. Hence my inquiry into the details. Oh, to be so young and pig-headed, Sniffle. Anyway, you keep digging into these little details. Other things I can hardly remember. I seem to recall the ringleader's identity and the faulty coroner's report being critical points of contention. Yes, I was just listening, my boy. But critical is a matter of opinion. How would you possibly suggest that such fundamental issues are not important? Perhaps it is your ability to make sound judgments that should be put on trial here today. Oh. Bravo, my young hothead. Wonderful cutting stuff. You do like to try, though, don't you? You're not bothered, my boy, because it's all irrelevant in the end. Believe in his extraterritorial rights. There's no way any of what we discussed today is irrelevant, not unless you intend to bury the truth. But none of it is relevant, dear boy. The only reason you keep trying to make it relevant is because otherwise you're up against a creek without a paddle. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said. Just because she confessed to something doesn't make it the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt. Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her confession outright. I tell you what, why don't we ask her one last time, though I'm sure she'll just say she did it again. Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit. Huh? You mean me? Is this really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it can significantly weaken your position. I know, but there's no other way. I only request that I be the one to question her. You really know how to tug an old man's heartstrings, you know, Sniffle. But fine, ask away, on one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time, that's it. We'll call the proceeding to an end, then and there, agreed? Call the proceedings to an end? You mean the hearing? Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you aren't a complete muddlehead after all. Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again and all that happens is that girl confirms her guilt, she's officially declared guilty on the spot. Yes, that sounds like a great plan if I do say so myself. That's it, you just declare her guilty just like that. That's the gist of it. It's a big risk, but he's gonna find a way to condemn her either way if I don't do something. Kay! Yes, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence? Why? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's no use. I can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to try to remember anymore. Nova, what are you doing? Ah, frickin' kid, it's like 1:35. You hear me get on my chair? That's me coming to kick your ass. Where are you? Alright. Can't see shit. You took out the goddamn light socket. Where's my phone? I got a cat to catch. Doesn't even doing nothing. Dang cat, I'll sue. Alright. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. Kay you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. Criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust. Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. And right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. You never commit a murder. You could never, because this is who you really are. Why do you lose so much if you present the wrong thing? You're the great thief Yatagarasu, a noble owl who would never stoop so low as to kill. I can't do it, I'm sorry. Because all I can see is the one memory that's returned. I have to face it. Hold it. No, the only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you? No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop, I'm begging you. Ah, so that's what's going on. I thought it was strange, but now I see. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the Kay I know would have done. You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not. And I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. Very true. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I've merely been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. So fucking true. Now, let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me. Ah! Kay. What's wrong? Do you remember something? Oh, it'd be like some cliche movie plot if she did. A cow. A cow. Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please perhaps ask her for a few more details. Well, okay. What can you tell us about this cow? I remember now. The person in the red raincoat. She had it in her hands. A stuffed cow. I can see it so clearly now. Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain? Yes, I'm sure. This court acknowledges the defendant's latest statement as new testimony. Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possessions is new and highly relevant evidence. Objection. The moo clue. You know, remind you of the addled state of her memory. No, this simply won't do. Addled? But if we claim her memory is unreliable now, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not? Were we to call validity of her memories into question? Then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action? Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit then. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're still in the game, but only by the skin of our teeth, and only thanks to Judge Gavel's intervention. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, that stuffed animal. I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction lot. Wait, that's... Do you know something, Gavel? No, it's just not what I imagined. So it is rather odd for the thing the victim you have been carrying. I should look over it more carefully. We're gonna take down or replace the chairman. One of the two, right? Looks like that's where this horn would have gone. That doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it? Let's take a look at the rest of this toy and see what else we can find. The other horn? I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of the stuffed toy. It moves. It does. Bzz, shh. Sounds like sand being crushed. See, there's a recording device hidden inside. And I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself. I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge. Ah, shh. Could this be the moment of the murder? Someone made a recording of it. Hey, that's them right there. Them's the voice I heard. Sure as eggs is eggs. Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there was some accompanying video footage. You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I've done told you. Them's the voices I heard. We already know the victim was holding that thing, right? There's gotta be from when she got. Yes, it is a possibility, but a weak one without more than your word to back it up. We need something more credible. We need, yet again, she seems to be stepping in help. Judge Gavel, I think we all know the voices are from the moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words we heard one of the speakers say. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe we have something that could explain what those words are referring to and how it's all related. Voices from the murder took place. Is it the fucking autopsy report?
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings. How do they prove anything? Indeed, what on this page shows the other remarks? Fucking this.
Take that!
If you read this part of the report again, you'll soon see what I'm getting at. Which part exactly, may I ask? This... What the fuck you mean? Which part? The other remarks? The part of the party, you'll see what I'm getting at. I'm going to kill you. Are you going to go for burn mark?
Take that!
Oh my god. Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. Victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand. And what of it? According to case testimony, the victim was carrying the stuffed cow toy. And a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording it captured. Ha, just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right? I'm not quite so sure it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder. In which case, one of the two voices must belong to the real culprit. And based on the content of the conversation, it seems likely that it's the one we hear the most. That still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female. Due to the voice changer is correct, unfortunately, but unavoidable. One thing, however, has become clear. We're not able to say that the voices Miss Hart's heard were those of Miss Ringer and her killer. Just like I done told you there were. You can say something else now, too. And let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. Do as you wish. According to Miss Hartz, before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee's chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. Seems this was the point at which money exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterwards, and the auction carried on after that. Which points to one key fact. The ringleader was the killer. Was the auctioneer's sole auctioneer, and it follows that they cannot be the victim. Hey, Gavel. Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy. What? And if they weren't the victim, then they can only have been the killer. Compelling argument, but hardly conclusive. I'm fully aware of that, Your Honor. I was merely warming up for the main event. There were certain traces left in the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. And please hurry and show us. A son that was placed at the scene of the points to the criminal having been the killer. Ba-da, ba-da, bum, ba, ba, bum. Ba-da, ba-da.
Take that!
I don't get it. No surprises there, but I'm sure the rest of the room will see what I'm getting at. For once, I agree with my idiot boy. How can that be? To hide. Yeah, the body! In the casket! What the fuck are they talking about?
Take that!
I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. On the scene that points to the ringleader being the killer.
Take that!
Your large pool of blood at the foot of the goddess of the justice statue. It was due to that blood that we originally thought the murder had happened in this chamber. It was simply a ruse designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom. We're to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have no reason to cover up that blood. Which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. Anyone you'd like to name. The auction is always held in the committee chamber, with its storeroom located just overhead. At the very least, we know the murderous ringleader has some connection to the committee. Yes, and you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, that's hardly a surprise, right? You're a fine prosecutor. That much I'll give you. But as I think I may have mentioned already, you're also hopelessly naive. Sure, whatever, nerd. You got nothing, dear boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you've got something to share, after all. Gurk. Do you have any evidence to show that Chairman Winter is the murderer? No. I'd be saving, though? Chairman Winter himself, who brought up the fact that I suspected him. He seems confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable, which means he knows. He knows I have nothing. Oh, well, Miles, my boy, time to pay the piper. Ah, I've always wanted to say that. Verity's all yours. Hold it. Wait, dang it. I just remembered something. Huh? Did you have an amnesia too? Nah, it just don't come to me. Flash of inspiration, you know how it is. Very well, say your piece. What are you doing, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth has made it clear that he won't give up until every last lick of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish we must. Let us you try to drag us through this excruciating process again in the future. Yeah, what she said. I don't quite get it, but it sounded pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad. I'll help Gavel bring this to a winning finish. We'll show them how wrong they are. Fine, let's hear what the witness has to say. You heard the chairman, Miss Hart? If you'd be so kind. Yeah, all right then. Here goes nothing. The facts, Miss Hart, and nothing but the facts, please. Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Truth's my middle name. Color me officially worried. The ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and then the auction started back up again. Now I had me a look back downstairs right after that. No. And when you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again. How? And you're sure of this, Miss Hart? Sure can be, your gavel ship. Saw with my own two peepers. So 11 before the murder and 11 again after means... Wait, that's a thingy. Contradiction, Eustace. Do try to keep up. Miss Hart, dude, nothing really changed at all. I told you already. They carried right on again like nothing even happened. Oh, except for, it was nothing much, but what is it? The little old mallet doodad. Can't have yourself an auction without one. Kind of like the one Missy over there got, but different. The auctioneer's hammer. That's the bunny. I done heard that thing banging and clanging right the way through, then nothing, just like that. So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Could have something to do with the murder. If what Miss Hart is telling us is true, we have something of a problem. Namely, that if the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the auction attendees, your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah. Chalk one up for justice. Eat that, Edgeworth. See, Mr. Edgeworth, there really was nothing we could do. No, there must be something we are overlooking. Something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If I can't, Kay is... Alright, kids, do we finally have all our answers now? If so, then I expect you to make good on... One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. Until we do, we cannot claim complete and total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. Is that not so, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expect you to have raised your voice by now. A loud hold it, perhaps. Oh, yes, of course. Once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat. Very well, let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains? Why, the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir. That's, Back with the witness, Your Honor. Your Highness, or whatever. Nova, bye. What's this all about? Why do you call us down here? Did someone suddenly fall ill? I'll have a compressed ready and 2 shakes of it out. This better be good. Did someone else drop dead? Well, they might soon wish they had. Dr. Hertz? Miss Nedler, thank you for coming on such short notice. Let me assure you, this won't take long. Quit trying to butter me up and cut to the chase, will ya? Haha, yeah, of course. We summoned you here to confirm something. What is Judge Gavel up to? Nova, you're so stupid. The stairs, Nova. Use the stairs. Jump down to the stairs. Yeah, there you go, stupid fucking cat. She went up onto the guardrail on the staircase and then realized she couldn't get up it. Dr. Hertz, this course asks you to provide the unabridged truth following the front. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy? Grammar doesn't make mistakes, ever. That's strange. Huh? What do you mean? In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. So I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings? That's awful. Can you even say that? How can you even say that? What do you ask me for? Why the heck would I want to do that? To help the true culprit, of course. As if I know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do nothing of the sort. And that seems doubly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be coy, I must say. Why don't you keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to protocol, the report shouldn't contain any mistakes. Wait. For the record, I didn't do anything to the report. I guess we'll see, won't we? Dr. Hertz, perhaps we could begin with your side of the story. Why do we even need to? This is pointless. I'll be the judge of what's pointless. This fucking cat, man. We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But Gamma, ouch. We really don't have time for this. Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is. Grandma said she'll testify. But could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer. Yeah, no crowds are taking your time by cotton candy the last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. Assuming you can tell us the truth, that is. So-called mistake in the report. No way Grandma's made a mistake in the report. Not ever. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim. Me writing something wrong is about as likely as ouch. Hammer Lady and Staff Lady. Almost a whole party. What the heck do you think I stand a game by doctoring her file? Don't make a lick of sense. That's all she has to say. Nothing funky here. See, it's just as I thought. There's no chance the good doctor doctored her findings. And he's swear by the holy goddess that this testimony is true. Of course, Grandma never told a lie in her... Objection. Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother's the subject of this inquiry, not you. Not necessary, that's not fair. The only ally poor Grandma has. Go ahead and shout objection left and right. But you best be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth behind the error in the report. Grandma's report. Not ever.
Hold it!
Except there definitely is. Never. You're saying that Dr. Hertz is infallible. She has to be. A doctor can't afford to make mistakes. Even a veteran like Grandma would be out of a job if she messed up even once. There's no way she of all people would. The whole hospital relying on me. Might be you can bangle your work and survive, mister, but I can't. You did longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim.
Hold it!
And you've really never made a single mistake in all that time. Doctoring's all about experience. The longer you've been at it, the better you get. Heh. If only the same were true of prosecuting, Chairman Winner would be the best in the business. I think we can all agree that's not the case. Oh, you really are a devil, Miles. You're also quite wrong. I've never once made a mistake either. After all, I have people to do that for me. I'm too busy for foul-ups, and luckily for me, I don't have to make them. Isn't having people just grand? Then you go trying to make doctoring and lawyering sound the same. They ain't got nothing alike. Nothing alike, I tell you. Likely as ouch. They didn't appear to put this raincoat on after sending the head injury, and yet there was not a single drop of blood in her chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Oh, that's ouch. I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. My dang reports already said what you said, didn't it? Your report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said. Oh. Sure. I digitally dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. Something happened to it afterwards, or had nothing to do with me. You dictated it. If you could please tell me more. Dictated that report to Florence.
Hold it!
Just so we're on the same page, what are your conclusions regarding the body? Well, like I said, ouch. Sorry, it was, death from a good hard knock to the noggin. You can say for certain when that knock happened, Dr. Hertz. Pre-mortem, of course. Chest wound happened after the poor girl died. I told Florence that and she wrote it right down. So that's what it says in my danged reports. Damn, she did get it right. She just fucking sucks
Objection!
at writing things down. Who would have guessed? It's 1. I was like, okay, if we can get to the next to be continued by like 12:30, that'd be nice. And then 12:40 came around, and now it's 1. Oh, I'll read it too. Ouch. This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? Literally, Updated autopsy report moment coming in. I don't know. But I can't say that. Miss Needler, if you're attempting to bury Dr. Hurt's truth, I will be gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice. Dr. Hurt seems to be telling Judge Gavel something in private. What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relay to everyone what you have told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that's a great impression. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there was an error in the report. It was all because of you, Nurse Needler. The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. Why did you introduce such an error? Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word. What about the rest of the report? So they mean two completely opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it. But why would she want to change it? Exactly, thanks. You won't get away that easily. Explain yourself, young lady. But Grandma, You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You want an explanation. I can't tell you. No, don't want to, but can't. It really is rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake, so why not leave it there? Objection. You like that, wouldn't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you. What on earth do you mean, my boy? Seeing as you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're gonna need to explain yourself better than that. I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Miss Needler's role in the crime was very important because... Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice. Ow! Oh, so she's a co-conspirator. That innocent young thing. Do share your ground for making such a wild claim, dear boy. Murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least two people, it wouldn't have been possible to... Well, yeah, doctor the report only takes one person. Move the body is one person. Maintain attendee numbers was the murderer, and the victim was one of the attendees. The fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense. Hey, watch, you gotta call my good word into question now, too. That's not what I meant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator. I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you were wrong. I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. The killer accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim. There would indeed have been 11 attendees both before and after the murder. Well, so that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory, but surely the imposter would have been spotted right away. I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anyone noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction? I wouldn't do something like that. Now tell us, the ringleader, who were they? I can't tell you, I just can't. It hurt Grandma too. Ow. But Grandma, don't you worry about me, I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But, Grandma! So, I was right. She was an accomplice. Miss Needler, why? Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself? Yes. Huh? Oh, thank you, Grandma. But I'm all right now. I confess it, I changed places with Miss Ringer. So you admit that you were working with the ringleader? Yeah, I was helping them. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them. Hope was going to be attacked by the victim? They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counter plan. They wanted to strike first, and then they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there. Now hold right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing. My eyes don't lie. If you had been there from the auction, I would have bumped right into you. I was here the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it. But I'm not lying. Well, that's easy for you to say. We were lying about altering the report only a few minutes ago. Heh, I think we're all well aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom. Are we? Where exactly are you trying to say our friend was hiding? She was waiting in the storeroom. Okay, cool. So, like, just fucking throw something away. Whatever, who gives a shit? She hid inside this clothes box. Oh, she did she? Huh? Well, it was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. Like I done told you, it had all them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere. Imagine that's because Nurse Neither was already lying in there by the time you arrived. That's right. We didn't want anyone to open it or it would have been blown up covered. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was time for my part. And then they wrapped the whole box up and changed. They think they took the elevator downstairs not long after. It was just before the auction was due to start. Again, you and Miss Hertz would have been the only people in the storeroom. Yes, I think so. As always, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Hertz overheard the victim and the culprit exchange of words around that. You betcha. See on that statue there, shaking like a dangled leaf the whole time. Quick crowd. Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. Imagine the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothing box, in which Nurse Neither emerged and swapped places with the victim, replacing Miss Ringer's body inside the box. Miss Neither's role was now to pretend to be Miss Ringer. Two of them returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Is that about somewhat what happened in the storeroom, Miss Needler? Yes, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold it. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and no one noticed? There's two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not a one of the other folk down there at the auction cottoned on. Why would they? The other auction gears had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needle entered because... What the fuck? All... Not... Think... The fuck? Okay, so I'm gonna lose something here. Oh, I guess imitating doesn't include their fucking... They're all wearing masks. Yeah, obviously, Edgeworth. As you've seen, Miss Ringer and Miss Needle are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules require attendees to wear their masks at all times. Neither there was wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer. No one had been able any the wiser. No, and they weren't. I brought Miss Ringer's clothes and, ouch, I left the poor child in her smalls. Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't have been nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her. So that's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before. Guess the part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Yes, must be. That makes all sense now. Right after that was when I went on over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction goers, then back I snuck into my little hidey hole. Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that. Well, that is not exactly. Huh? What is it? Did something happen? Well, I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out, unconscious, you might say. What? What happened? Oh, nothing much. Kind of silly, really, but there was a sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know. All right, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to was the next dang day, and they were all clanking down that ladder. I see. So you were startled by a noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that. Not per se, but, well, after the auction was over, all the masks were put back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one. Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing? I was running to be Miss Ringer and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothing box as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside after all. Imagine someone else had won it. We would have been in real trouble then. So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime. No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead. Okay. Yeah, she must have fallen from up on the roof. Been knocked unconscious. Guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh? That would explain it. Kay would have been shocked about seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless in front of her, that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. The sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that done knocked me out for so long, though. In summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you're already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp of what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue. Sure. So I found Kay, and I found Miss Ringer. I put them both in the clothing box. We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. This would have caused a real hubbubaloo. Is that your idea, or the ringleaders? Theirs. But putting the raincoat on Miss Ringer was my own idea. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done. Imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in the case. And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in the auctioneer's outfit we prepared. Of course, which completes the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything, and that was that. Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I advise you to do so immediately. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringleader's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't find her hair, obviously, so ouch. You're danged right, you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you? That's where you draw the line, so taking her clothes was okay. Our hair was totally different, the style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. The ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one, and both were stashed in the clothing box. 2 wigs, but why? Right? I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on that day. Leaving a wavy wig in the box. And that's everything you know. There's nothing else you're forgetting. No, huh? No, really, Grandma, that's everything. And I take it you really have no idea who the ringleader might be. Sorry, I only know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on, and they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. I can't get past something concrete from them. Oh, well, Miles, are we about done? You've proven the nerf was part of the murder plot. But sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. It means Kay's innocent. As it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader. What the fuck are you talking about? Injustice must prevail. We can't change the law even for your sake. Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay? Are you literally allowing him to say this?
Objection!
Duh! Francisco, what are you doing here? As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding those suspects. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor. I understand that. You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information. Captain Gumshoe did that. Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Well, someone say something. Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves. You what? Yes, just a few minutes. Ah! Well, why did you say so sooner? You didn't exactly give us a chance. And I suppose you know about the murder weapon, too. No, not yet. Ah, good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface. The wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem. Circular surface? You're certain of that, I assumed. Your sources are above board? 2 trusted medical personnel reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more. That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds of... Of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during the auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to relevant parties. Especially the victim. My, you really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear? Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Yeah, that's what the coroner said. Sorry, the murder weapon itself is yet to be identified. Heh, based on the shape, I might have an idea or two. But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation, and yet, one only needs to think about the setting and an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. Circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about is the auctioneer's hammer. The auctioneers have readily at hand an auctioneer's hammer, of course, but we never found one of those. Was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. Without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. Fucking what?
Take that!
Miles Edgeworth. Okay, let's see what the fuck they say here. Oh no! Dedge. Literally the only thing that points to it is the circular fucking... Hammer really is a murder weapon. Did anything change from before it was used? The fuck are you talking about? Did something change in the evidence? Whatever, I'll look. Auctioneer's weapon was the murder weapon. Fucking...
Take that!
The cow. What is he trying to say? If the hammer really is a murder weapon, did anything change from before it was used? I have no idea what the fuck this means. Before it was used? Oh, right. That's my bad. Miss Hertz told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and it was covered in the victim's blood. We need to be disposed of. Isn't that right, Chairman Winner? I'll have our people look into this right away. Oh, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you? Literally, it has to be you. One, you admitted it to us. Two, the evidence points to it being you. Like, come on. You dedicate yourself when you're young, when you can. Seems confident we'll never find it. Very well, search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess. Holy shit, thank you. Alright, that's it. That's all you get. Have yourselves one of these. Oh my god. Why was it every other one had a to be continued like an hour and a half in? The cases never end. They literally never end. Hey, Edgeworth, remember that when the fucking bozo knew that Kay fell down into the storage room? And then you got the nurse's testimony that Kay fell down in the storage room and the only other person who can know that is the auction leader? Fucking just bring that shit up. Oh my god, kill me. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow to finish this case if there is any benevolent force in this universe. I'll see you all then. Good night.